Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Well, technically, you, Your Honor.
So here's what I'll do. I'll pass it. Go talk to Ann.
This defendant and Judge Simpson went head-to-head live in court, and what started off relatively calm quickly took a wild turn. Everything was actually going smoothly, until the defendant decided to speak up and accuse Judge Simpson of, threatening him. Now let's be real here. When a judge lays out the consequences of your actions, that's not a threat. It's literally the judge doing their job. But apparently, this guy didn't get the memo. What follows is a chaotic exchange that takes an unexpected twist you won't believe. Let's dive in and see how Judge Simpson handles this attempt at courtroom theatrics. Mr. Hampton is...
Mr. Hampton has entered into agreement with the people, and would like to enter that into the record. Your Honor, is it possible to enter into both today, to address both cases today on the record?
That file is not in the courtroom.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I do believe that the building that you answered.
Oh, sorry.
But I don't believe it's.
What? Okay.
Talking about bond.
All right, we'll just address this case today.
He's going to enter a plea in another case that's set for prelim.
Yes, yeah. So case 24F55262, just because of the timing with the mental health treatment court evaluation, that one was set for preliminary examination before the evaluation was complete. And that is currently set for exam.
So over there is Ann, right?
Yes.
You know Ann?
Yes.
Okay. So if you had this, that may work out where we could like get rid of two cases and he could plead. I may or may not do it, but usually just go over and ask Ann. Because you asked me on the record, I'll probably say no, because I don't do the filing, so I don't know where it is.
Understood. Yes. So I will.
So would you like to do that today?
I would like to.
So here's what I'll do. I'll pass it. Go talk to Ann.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, sorry. Ashley Bashir on behalf of Mr. Hampton. And in addition to addressing the case directly, we would like to address bond and request that a condition, specifically the home confinement tether, be reconsidered.
Okay, I'll get to that maybe at some point.
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to get these pleas done.
Thank you.
So my understanding is he's going to plead to count in case ending in 1596. He's going to plead to count 2.
Yes.
Correct? With count 1 being dismissed. That's going to be a guilty plea. Correct, counsel?
Yes.
All right. Then on the other matter, I have a plea form that indicates that the defendant will be pleading guilty to an added count 2 of attempted resisting and obstructing the 1-year offense. Upon a successful plea to that charge, count 1, the resisting and obstructing, would be dismissed. And there is an agreement that the defendant is to go to mental health court. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement.
That's right.
May I have the defendant's sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
State your name.
Brandon Hampton.
And man, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. The first one, in the case ending in 1596, is the charge of aggravated assault. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You also understand in that case that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Barr in the 14A2 District Court. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And understanding that on that case, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right. On the other case, it says court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand also that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Balbo in the 15th District Court. You understand that?
Why are the judges different, Your Honor?
Why are the judges different? Because these allegedly occurred in two separate places. The case that we're just talking about with Judge Balbo, the offense took place in the city of Ann Arbor. And the other case happened in maybe the city of Ypsilanti in Ypsi City, it looks like. I'm sorry, Ann Arbor Township. Okay. So they occurred in two separate jurisdictions. Okay. That's why you have two separate judges. But what's going to happen, I think this is probably really the crux of your question. You're going to go to mental health court on these, right?
Yeah.
So Judge Valvo is actually in charge of mental health court. So when that case goes over to her, that will be where it is. You'll have to go before Judge Barr. Judge Barr will do the initial part of the sentencing and then place you on probation to be supervised by the mental health court. Follow that? So it's just a little bit of a process. Both cases, it's anticipated, are going to end up in the same spot.
Okay.
Okay. You got that? Any other questions on that?
I guess it's not like possible for the other case just to go to Valvo as well.
It will get there. It just can't go directly that way.
Okay.
Okay.
For sure.
Anything else? Trust me, we do this all the time. It'll get there. So it'll catch right up to it. Okay. All right. Any other questions you have?
Just the one about bond, but
yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. All right. So understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty to these charges?
yeah.
Okay. So to the charge of aggravated assault, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
All right. You see a copy on the podium. Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yeah.
All right. Were you on probation at the time of these offenses?
No.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No.
All right. Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Well, technically, you, Your Honor.
Mr. Hampton, so
Tell you what, why don't we pass the matter? Maybe you can talk to him and we'll give this another shot today if we're comfortable with it. Otherwise, the court may not be comfortable with it, and we might just blow all of this up and it'll just have to happen another way.
thank you.
But I'll give you a chance to talk.
He was doing so well until that. Honestly, they weren't lying when they said this guy might need some mental health support, because that logic? Wild. I can't even tell if he was trying to mock Judge Simpson or if he genuinely believes the judge was threatening him with jail time. Like, my guy, That's literally how the legal system works. Judges don't threaten you, they explain the consequences of your actions. If you don't follow court orders, jail is on the table. It's not personal. It's not a threat. It's just the system doing what it's designed to do. And the way he said it? He might have just torched his own plea deal. If he's out here accusing the judge of being unfair or threatening, that could seriously mess with any negotiation attempts. Instead of owning up, he's now playing the victim card after pleading guilty. Like, why backtrack now? It's way too late for that. But what do you think? Was he just running his mouth? Or does he truly believe this nonsense? Let's dive back in and see how Judge Simpson reacts, because you know it's about to get interesting.
We're back on the record in the case of the people versus Hampton. We're in the middle of taking a plea. And so I stated the terms on the record. And Mr. Hampton, I'm going to ask you a couple questions again.
Okay.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No,
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you in any way to get you to plead?
no,
You're doing this voluntarily,
yes,
of your own free will,
yes,
and because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses?
yes.
All right. We'll start with case 1596. Paperwork. So, okay, Mr. Hampton, on the date of August 29, 2024, at Washtenaw Community College in Ann Arbor Township, Washtenaw County, state of Michigan, do you recall what happened on that date regarding a Vladimir, is it Parahorov?
I don't know, Your Honor.
All right. Did you get into a fight with somebody?
Oh, I know what happened. I don't know what his name is. It sounded like.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what happened then?
Oh, I was trying to take a shower, Your Honor.
Okay. And then what occurred?
When I was in the locker room, he had pushed me up against the wall, hit me in my head, and threw me on the ground. And then broke in my property.
Okay, but before that, did you do anything before that?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't until there were 4 people on top of me and I was fearing for my life that I bit him, Your Honor.
Okay. So here's what
Patient way Judge Simpson put it, almost like he was explaining things to a toddler. Seriously, credit where it's due. But now, let's jump into the next part of this hearing to see if this guy finally pulled his head out of his, you know what? At this point, he's either about to wake up and realize how the legal system actually works, or he's about to double down on the nonsense. And if it's the latter, oh boy. We might be witnessing a live masterclass in how to make your own life way harder in court. What do you think? Will he snap out of it or keep spiraling? Let's dive back in. We're
counsel, because I can see the way that this plea's going, it's not going to work. So if you guys want to change, I'm not suggesting you guys want to change things to a no contest. If you want to do whatever, what I will do is I'm back up at 1. I'll call it back up at 1. I think everybody's still going to be here. So, and give you a chance to talk with him, decide whether or not you want to do no contest, please explain what a no contest, go through all of that with him, and then see if we can get this done.
Thank you very, very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a prime example for me of no good deed goes unpunished. All right, so we'll call it back up at that point. Quarter past these matters again. All right.
We actually, based on the most recent conversation with my client, I will actually seek to adjourn this case for to further advise my client on the offer.
All right.
For the shortest adjournment possible.
February 13th. Both matters.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
I'm canceling witnesses.
Both matters? I don't have to come on.
Well, that's true. What are we doing with, well, when is the exam set?
Tuesday, the 28th.
Yes, so apologies. We can see, I'd be happy if I stip to adjourn that, the exam or for the other case.
Well, you're gonna need a step on the exam.
Yes.
Because I only took it because there was gonna be a plea. When do you want the other one adjourned to?
When is the, soonest?
I'll set this, I'll adjourn the
After the
1596. I'll adjourn 1596 to February 6th. The other one is stay on track for a preliminary examination. I understand that people are not going to have the witnesses available, or you need a stipulation to adjourn that out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Clip 4. He just messed up. Bad. You can see the exact second his chances vanished. This dude really could have walked away with a light sentence, maybe just a fine or a short stint in jail. But nope, he had to. Run his mouth, and now he's about to feel the full wrath of Judge Simpson. And let me tell you, judges do not play when they feel like their time is being wasted or their courtroom is being disrespected. And that's exactly what this guy is doing right now. He literally just accepted the plea, and now he's trying to act like he's not guilty? It's honestly baffling. This is textbook behavior for how you go from maybe a slap on the wrist to, congrats, you just earned yourself a real punishment. What do you all think so far? Did he just seal his fate, or is there still a sliver of hope? Personally, I think he's cooked. Let's dive back in.
Counsel, because I can see the way that this plea's going, it's not going to work. So if you guys want to change, I'm not suggesting you guys want to change things to a no contest. If you want to do whatever, what I will do is I'm back up at 1. I'll call it back up at 1. I think everybody's still going to be here. So, and give you a chance to talk with him, decide whether or not you want to do no contest, please. Explain what a no contest, go through all of that with him, and then see if we can get this done.
Thank you very, very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a prime example for me of no good deed goes unpunished. All right, so we'll call it back up at that point. Quarter past these matters again. All right.
We actually, based on the most recent conversation with my client, I will actually seek to adjourn this case for to further advise my client on the offer.
All right.
For the shortest adjournment possible.
February 13th. Both matters.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
I'm canceling witnesses.
Both matters? I don't have to come on.
Well, that's true. What are we doing with, well, when is the exam set?
Tuesday, the 28th.
Yes, so apologies. We can see, I'd be happy if I stip to adjourn that, the exam or for the other case.
Well, you're gonna need a step on the exam.
Yes.
Because I only took it because there was gonna be a plea. When do you want the other one adjourned to?
When is the soonest?
I'll set this, I'll adjourn the
After the
1596. I'll adjourn 1596 to February 6th. The other one is stay on track for a preliminary examination. I understand that people are not going to have the witnesses available, or you need a stipulation to adjourn that out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Clip 5I. Seriously don't understand why this guy even took the plea deal if he didn't want it in the first place. Like, my guy, you literally had an easier way out and just threw it straight in the trash. Now, instead of walking away with a lighter sentence, he's looking at months of extra jail time. For what? Just to push back against the judge? He wasn't even full-on arguing, I guess. But he was definitely talking back with this smug attitude. And look, I know he's probably dealing with some mental health stuff, but he has a lawyer. Someone literally told him exactly what to do, and he still went full speed in the opposite direction. I just don't get people sometimes. But on a more positive note, I really like Judge Simpson in this one. He handled the situation better than most judges probably would have. I mean, a lot of them would have snapped and tossed the guy in jail right away. But Judge Simpson, he actually tried to help this guy. He explained everything clearly, gave him multiple chances, and stayed calm the whole time. But at some point, you just can't save someone from themselves. People are going to do what they want to do. And sometimes that means learning the hard way. And that's exactly what happened here. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments, was Judge Simpson fair, or would you have handled it differently? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more crazy court cases like this one. I post new content every single day, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching.